Hey, it's December, you filthy animals, and you know what that means. It's time to close down November. Hey, what's up, bookworms and booktube enthusiasts? Because that's the only reason you would watch a video like this. We are here again to wrap up another month, the month of December. I don't even know what month it is. November, it is now December. Okay, all right, now that we got that one out of the way, let's go ahead and carry forward. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the month by talking about what I read, the growth on the channel, future goals, most popular videos, all that kinds of fun stuff as we get December kicked off. Let's begin by talking about what I read in November. Time of Courage, John Gwynne. The Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter. Tyrant's Throne by Sebastian Degattel. That is the final Greatcoats book. The novella is Dawn Shard by Brandon Sanderson. And of course, the big one was Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. I think I've got plenty of coverage for all these series on the channel. I did a review for Fires of Vengeance. The one for Tyrant's Throne will be coming this week, if not this week, sometime early next week. I didn't review Dawn Shard. Apparently, I'm the only booktuber out there who didn't review Dawn Shard. I'm doing Rhythm of War slowly in those parts. I did actually finish reading the book yesterday, but I've already recorded part 4, so don't worry. That's already up there. I'm just kind of spacing those releases out. But my non-spoiler review for that will be coming sometime probably next week. And Time of Courage, I didn't do an actual review for because I did one for A Time of Dread, and basically felt like that was giving you an introduction to the sequel series. But I've done plenty of John Gwynne coverage on this channel. Speaking of John Gwynne, guys, it's time for me to talk about my favorite book of the month. And I know everyone's going to expect it to be Brandon Sanderson, right? My book of the month is A Time of Courage by John Gwynne. And I think that is just because of the culmination of 7 books spent in the Banished Lands, and this being the into it. Now, look, I want to say, in one of my weekly updates when I finished this, I told people that I didn't like this series as much as I liked The Faithful and the Fallen. And I think that people kind of took that as I don't need to read that then. No, that's not the case at all. Look, Faithful and the Fallen is going to be, when I update my top 10 fantasy stories or fantasy series of all time, Faithful and the Fallen is going to be on it. That's how much I enjoy Faithful and the Fallen. So if you don't compare this to Faithful and Fallen, no, look, guys, John Gwynne does not write bad books. I'm convinced now, 7 books, he's 7 for 7 with me. And this one was an amazing conclusion. I think that this had, some of the battle scenes in this were probably even bigger than what was in Wrath, which was just like completely epic. So guys, very much a great continuation of the Banished Lands, and a very, very bittersweet swan song to that series. And I enjoyed my time there. I mean, look how juicy these books are, and you just fly through them. So I kind of want to get on the record there that, guys, I don't know why people assume that meant I said you shouldn't read it. I just said I didn't like it as much as Faithful and the Fallen. That's like saying I don't like the Age of Madness as much as I like the original First Law trilogy. Look, both are very, very good, but you have to pick one, right? I mean, that's what I've kind of always been told. But anyway, that was what I read in November. Most of the month was dominated by Rhythm of War, as the channel coverage has shown. But going to be moving into December here and kind of wrapping up all that stuff before Malazan. Let's get into some channel growth here. I just want to say up front, thank you guys, because this was the most successful most successful month for growth that the channel has ever experienced, ever. And, I've only been doing this about 1.5 years now. But, my previous records were all like in June when I put out that Kendo Oasis video, which kind of just like inflated the numbers. Nothing like that to kind of pad the stats this go around. But this is the biggest single month ever in the history of the channel. I think I know why. But, again, these are things that you're just always grateful for. As far as new subscribers, total views for the month, and total watch time for the month, all channel high. So lots of new friends on the channel. I'm so glad you're here. I hope that you will stick around. I don't know if that's because of Malazan or what. Here's my thing. I did a video last month that was for October. That was my top 10 horror books of all time. And when I did my wrap up last month, I said that was one of my most popular videos, and it had 7,000 views. Look, that was still an October video, so I'm not going to be counting it on this one. But I've had 52,000 views on that video since I did my October wrap up. So that video, you can look on it, you can click on it, you can see how many people pressed the subscribe button while they were watching that video, and it's like 3,000. So that video has brought in a lot of new friends to the channel, and that was what I wanted to do with the horror month. So I'm glad that at least one of those videos really took off. So a nice little surprise there. It actually just passed Why You Should Read Wheel of Time as my 5th most viewed video ever on the channel. So hey, that's really, really cool. I'm glad that we're getting lots of new faces in here. But let's talk about the total numbers here. 5,217 new subscribers just the month of November. That is up 2,886 from last month. The previous record, I think, was like 4,000 when I did that Oasis video in June. So amazing, amazing growth. We also hit 302,000 views last month. That is up 59,000 from the previous month, and 40,000 hours of watch time. That's up 5,000 over the month of October. So yes, a banging month, and I can't believe it, guys. I know one of these weekly or monthly wrap-ups I did recently, I said that I felt like the ceiling for this channel was 25 or 30,000 subs. That was probably like the ceiling, because I felt like it kind of had to level off somewhere. So this late boom has really kind of upped that a little bit. In fact, we hit 30,000 on November the 22nd. And so, guys, I stand corrected. You are an oak. You were right. You were right. We are well over 31 and a half now. So it's still growing exponentially every day. I don't know if it's just lots of new eyes is showing up in lots of new people's channels or whatever, but the channel does continue to grow. And while I say I appreciate having just a small organic audience, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Sure, I'd love for the channel to keep growing. I'd love for more conversation and more fine people that I just keep meeting that are just love to talk, and I love to talk back with them. The Discord is growing at a huge number too. I did a Malazan video recently, and a lot of people signed up after I did that Malazan video. So we're creeping up on 3,000 users on the Discord channel now. So it's just growing, and I can't say enough. Thank you guys again. I'm glad that you are here. So let's go ahead and get on to the most popular videos of the month here. I did 18 videos in the month of November. That was down a little bit from Fright Fest. I did say I was going to be taking, I was doing 5-6 videos a week during Fright Fest, so I knew I was going to kind of step back a little bit and kind of recharge as we got ready for the good old Malazan coming up. But obviously, I can't count the top 10 horror video, but like I said, 52,000 views just in the month of November for that video. So that's amazing. But again, let's go on with ones I just did this month. My Malazan video, why I decided to read Malazan. It's got 15,000 views. Now, I expected why you should read or why I decided to read series always usually do pretty well, because it's people looking to get into the series. But with that, it's like you look at the comments there, and it's amazing how many people in there have actually read Malazan. And what I said in that video is I always was told that Malazan readers were kind of elitist. Well, they seem very, very welcoming. I mean, they say outside of like telling you that you're pronouncing everything wrong, they seem to be pretty friendly. That's nothing. You guys will have a lot to compete with Brandon Sanderson fans on that one. But it's really great. There's so many people that, like I said, have jumped on the Discord. By the way, you can jump on the Discord right now. The description, the link is in the description below. Please join us. It's a totally friendly place, and I love that. We've got a great community over there, and it's not just bias. We keep it very, very friendly over there, and it's awesome. And I can't wait to talk to more of you over there. But yeah, the Malazan readers that have jumped on over there that are going to be joining in the read-along is very exciting. And getting to talk about that at length about why I've kicked this can down the road so long was a good time, and I'm glad so many people are watching it. Second up, my book haul for October 2020. Those always do well. 11,000 views. What was unique about that one was it was the first time since I've been doing book haul videos that more of the stuff that I got was actually gifts from viewers. So I was going to make sure that I gave those people a big shout out and a big thank you, because it is obviously something that I never expect on this channel when someone drops onto my wish list below and they give me something. That's really the coolest thing that you could possibly do. I appreciate it so much. But again, obviously, guys, I never expect anything like that. The Discord is something I would like more people to participate in, but like the Patreon and the wish list stuff, those are great, guys, but obviously I don't expect anything like that from you. That's why a lot of people say they didn't even know that they existed. So I wanted to give those people a thank you. 9,000 views is number 3. This was why I gave up on Brent Weeks. It's also one of my most thumbs down videos of all time. And anytime you take a stance on something like that, I feel like no matter how gentle you are, like in that video I say numerous times, look, this is my opinion. I think the man is a very talented writer. People just ask me why I gave him a Lightbringer, and I said so, and I felt like there was no way I could have been easier on that and said, read it and make up your own mind. This isn't a rant. I'm not telling you not to read it. It's just, my story. You're always going to get thumbs down on that anyway. But again, it don't matter. The conversation is what matters. And there's lots of conversation. There's plenty who disagree. There's plenty who told me I have a bad attitude, things like that. But there's plenty others who agreed and said they could see my points even if they continued the series and they kept going. So always a fun conversation when you can kind of buck the trend of just standard reviews and things like that, and kind of just put some real hard opinions out there. And like I always say, man, guys, the differences of opinion, always welcome here. These are just mine, and sometimes they suck, and I want you guys to tell me why you think they suck, and let's have a grown-up conversation about it. That's the whole mantra of the channel here. Next up is let's see your channel plans for Rhythm of War. What's kind of funny about that with 6,000 views is that was just like a 5-minute video where I just said what I was planning to do for Rhythm of War, where I said I was going to be doing a video for each part of that book, which I'm 3 in, already recorded 4, and I'll be doing releasing that later this week, putting part 5 out next week, and my non-spoiler review. But that will be the end of Rhythm of War conversation. So it's the biggest book of the year, guys. So of course there was going to be lots of coverage for it, and obviously lots of interest for it. That's why also number 5 is my Rhythm of War wish list at 6,000 views. So a very, very busy month. Like I said, it's the biggest month ever for growth and traffic. So I don't think that it was one thing in particular. Like I said, the horror video got lots of new eyes on the channel. Brandon Sanderson's always going to attract attention. The new people that are coming over from Malazan, lots of people are interested in Brent Week's stories and stuff. So lots of good topics this month, I think. It was a nice mix to get a lot of conversation going, and I'm grateful for that. As for my favorite video of the month, it's not one of these. And I want to say the Malazan one just because I spent so much time on that intro. And I feel like I've been waiting forever to talk about Malazan. We talked in February of this year about deciding that this was going to be the series that I read in 2021. So it's been a long time coming. But I just have to say my favorite video this month, and it won't surprise anybody that it's a Stephen King video, is the one I did for Eyes of the Dragon. Now, it's a book I liked. It's nothing that I probably ever going to be like, you know what, I've got to read that every year or something like that. It wouldn't be like a top 15, 20 Stephen King book for me. What I liked about it was that so much conversation that, like I already said, that my Stephen King stuff does way less traffic on this channel than my fantasy stuff. That's expected. And it isn't because it did, almost 5,000 views, which is good for a King video on this channel. It's more that so many people dropped in the comments and told me that was their introduction to Stephen King. And I was just amazed by that. I thought that was going to be one of those that I didn't struggle to get 1,000 views because no one had read it. I was actually surprised how many people had read Eyes of the Dragon. So not just that, but a lot of good stories about, how old they were and how that was their gateway to Stephen King. I always have people tell me, It or Pet Sematary, things like that was their gateway to Stephen King. I had no idea that so many people jumped in to his works reading Eyes of the Dragon as a preteen. That's really awesome. So it made me look at that book in a whole new light. So that's why I kind of got like a fondness for that video. All right, guys, let's talk about some December goals here. I think my biggest goal in December is just to successfully clear these decks before Malazan starts on January 1st, because you know how I usually stagger? I'll do like a sci-fi and a fantasy book, or a fantasy book and a Stephen King book or a Crichton book, something like that. I'll always do stuff like that to kind of stagger. Going to be different with Malazan. Nothing is going to be read at the same time as Malazan because I want to give it my undivided attention. So yeah, I'm going to make sure that I got the decks clear. Now I do have 4 books planned for the month of December. I'm already about 40% through Kings of the Wild. It's on my desk. I'm pointing at it like you can see it. Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. Having a great time with it. Now that I'm done with Rhythm of War, I'll probably plow through that by this end of this week. It's really fun. I don't mean plow is like a bad way. Plow a bad way or no innuendo. Here's the thing. I'm having a great time with it. And that's something I said in the Discord right before I recorded this was, you look at some of the dialogue in there, and I'm like, look, this isn't like the First Law. Don't get me wrong. But his sick humor and bad language is very, very that same kind of dark humor that Abercrombie uses in the First Law. So I feel right at home. That and all of the blatant references to 70s rock, which you cannot understand until you read it. Because all the time I was like, how can you do that in a fantasy tale? It's such a unique spin. And I can see why this book is so popular among the fantasy community. As for the other books, The Talisman by Stephen King, that'll be my Into the Multiverse for December. That's my first read of that book. Kings of Paradise by Richard Nell. This is a series that comes highly recommended to me from my boy Patrick. Thank you. And Richard Nail actually saw that I had an interest in it, and he sent me a copy. So I want to make sure that I can read that and give it an honest review, and I can't wait. It's a big old boy too. So the Talisman and that this month. So what am I going to do for that fourth book? I'm going to put something between that to kind of cleanse the palate. And what is that going to be? Well, I decided to drop Ready Player 2. I won't get into it, but lots of feedback that I heard made me think, that's not going to be for me. In fact, a lot of people, in fact, I think it was Patrick that said that he had heard that it was so bad that it made book one bad, retroactively. So I love the first book, and I already said I felt like I did not like what he did with Armada, and I felt like this was going to be a cash grab. People I trust, the stuff they've told me about it, I've just been like, nah. If I get to it, it'll be later. I'm definitely not going to read it right now. But what am I going to read in the place? Well, I actually put up a poll on the site and asked you guys. And it's so weird. You have 5 options on that poll. So I put 4 little standalones I think could be quick. And if everybody isn't like recommending a series to me in the comments, I'm like, I asked for something quick to read in this window here. But the 5th option that I put on there was, don't read anything. Just take a week off before Malazan. Just because I needed something to fill that spot. And wouldn't you know that as of recording this video, it's winning. Anyhow, I doubt that'll happen, and I know why, and I know people will be like, oh, why'd you put up a poll if you aren't going to follow it? Look, I want to read something. I'm not going to take a week off. I know me. I can say I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Look, I had 1 day wait for Rhythm of War. And you know what I started doing? I started reading Kings of the Wild. Guys, it's just my primary form of entertainment is reading. I'm not going to just not read. What am I going to do? Play with my kids or something? Get out of here. Anyhow, so I'm going to pick one of those 4 books that is voting. As of recording this, the book that is leading is The Martian by Andy Weir. And just between us, that's kind of what I hope wins. Because I felt like I put that one off for a long time and I've wanted to read it. I did enjoy the movie, but I also enjoyed the movie A Life of Pi, and it's on there as well. Blake Crouch is very popular, it seems, on this channel. So I think it's got an outside chance. But right now, it looks like it's going to be The Martian. But I did put some Neil Gaiman on there, too, because people always want to know, why haven't you read any Neil Gaiman? As for a final goal here for the year, look, I do plan to do like a year-end stream. That's the big question that I get asked a lot. Are you going to do a 30,000 stream? No, I just did one for 25,000. I didn't expect to hit 30,000 that soon after. I want to keep those streams like events so people actually want to join me. If I do one every month, I feel like people are going to get bored of them and they aren't going to participate. So I didn't do one between 10,000 and 25,000, and I felt like it got a good audience and good engagement. So I would like to do one for the end of the year, obviously. So there'll be one sometime, probably after Christmas, like kind of that close down right before we get ready for Malazan. But I get everybody always tells me I'm kind of pessimistic on these things when I talk about the viewer count, the subscriber count. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make an optimistic goal here. I am going to say I would like to hit 35,000 by New Year. Now, as of recording this, we're about 3,200 away. So that's like about 100 per day, which would be great. Look, before this recent surge, it was down to like 30 or 50 a day, which isn't bad, guys. It isn't bad. I know that there are younger channels who are like, I would kill to get that. But, it felt like it was really slowing down. It really did. So I feel like this is possible. But, if I don't get it, again, guys, my goal for the end of this year was 7,500. So I think we've done okay. But again, since everybody else says I'm always pessimistic about that, I thought, hey, why don't you throw something really optimistic out there and see if you can hit it. So guys, that was the month of November. Are you guys ready for December? Are you guys, if you're joining the read along, are you clearing the decks this month? Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you guys are going to read in December. Let me know what you guys read in November, and I will talk to you there.